Welcome in to I Remember My First Time.
Ooh.
Oh, don't be nasty, Jacob. Not that first time.
Damn it.
This is a podcast of cinematic awakenings
Ooh, that sounds nice.
where we discuss the movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
I love it when people pop their cherries.
I'm BJ Leica. Joining me as always is Jacob Ekus.
That's me. I'm Jacob.
Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
Fuck, I sure hope not.
Do you love shitty movies?
I fucking love shitty movies. Sometimes even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
That's a hail to the no.
But do we love the shit out of movies?
Absolutely. We love the fucking shit out of movies. And this week, BJ popped his cherry to the 2001 cult classic, Kevin Smith, written and directed, Jay and Silent Bob.
Kevin Smith stars, too.
Yes. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Jacob, in a world gone mad, we won't spank the monkey. The monkey will spank us.
Oh, that's still a monkey for you, BJ.
Let's get our bong sabers ready to talk about Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Whoop, whoop. Oh, speaking of bong sabers, Jason Mewes, it was his idea to hit it like a bong before he started fighting Cockknocker. Which, I know we'll get to that scene later. But yeah, he hit it like a bong. That was all his idea. Kevin Smith loved it.
You just used hit it like a bong and cockknocker in the same sentence.
I did. That's the beauty of this movie. It's Cockknocker and hit it like a bong.
I did text you when I finished this movie, and what was the text?
Actually, it wasn't when you finished it. I texted you. I said, hey, what do you think as you were watching it?
Oh, okay.
And the text was wild AF.
I did not say the words. The text is literally wild, capital A, capital F.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure you're a 33-year-old man using AF.
I was. So, usually we have a guest on this podcast, but this time we don't, because this is my first time. So, we always ask the guests what kind of movies they like, what's their relationship with cinema, but we hadn't done that with ourselves yet. So, Jacob, what's your relationship with cinema?
I'm in love with it. I make sweet, hot, sexual, sweaty love with movies all of the time. Cinema.
Like on in the background or to the movies or?
All of it. On in the background, to the movies, with the movies.
Does it fit through the little hole on the DVD disc?
It does. And it fits in my hole.
It works both ways.
It does. Because that's how much I love movies. With that being said, I love any and all movies. My favorite director, Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
I haven't seen a bad Tarantino film.
There's not one.
There's not one. I like them all more than most people like any of them. Kill Bill is my favorite. I love gratuitous, grotesque violence.
It's a comic book put on screen.
Yeah. And another reason I like Tarantino is I love violence. My all-time favorite kinds of movies are stupid action flicks. We grew up, we're about the same age. We grew up at the same time with the same kind of parents. Rambo. My first special edition movie box set was the Rambo trilogy. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Nick Cage. I love adrenaline-filled action. Fast and the Furious, Vin Diesel, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'll watch Stone Cold Steve Austin movies. I'll watch anything if it's action and blowing shit up and killing people. I also love films. We've always had that conversation. Difference between a film and a movie. I love films. Your Daniel Day-Lewis, Coen Brothers,
Sure.
Saving Private Ryan, The Departed, Martin Scorsese. I love films, and I love really shitty movies. I love your good comedy. Those aren't shitty. That's not what I mean. But I love, like, Sharknado.
Oh, Sharknado.
Velocipaster.
Oh, God. I've seen Velocipaster.
I love these movies. Hobo with a Shotgun. I love these movies.
Is that movie about a hobo with a shotgun?
It's 100% about a hobo with a shotgun. So I love just shit fucking movies. I haven't really dipped into old movies like the classics. One thing I'm excited about this podcast is watching a lot of classic movies.
You can't wait for the Casablanca podcast?
I can wait for that one. But Seven Samurais, I'm excited for.
Okay.
I'm excited for fucking Seven Samurais. And then my favorite comedy is 40-Year-Old Virgin. I love comedies, any kind. Obviously, this movie. I've seen this movie. You don't know this yet, but I've seen this movie 40 plus times.
40.
40, no kidding.
Is this your most watched movie of all time?
No.
Top 5?
Easily top 5.
Okay,
yes.
okay. Right.
Yes. I can quote this movie so good. So well. Anyways, that's my movie taste. It's all over the fucking place. Everything. My least favorite kind of movie is rom-coms.
I'll try to change that
Okay.
a couple years into this
And I
podcast.
do love a good rom-com. I just saw Marry Me with Owen Wilson and J-Lo.
Wow. I also play a car in the movie Cars. I have kids, so I know Cars.
Yep. I hope your impersonation later this podcast is better than your Owen Wilson one.
It's not.
Okay. Well, y'all are in for a treat then. What kind of movies you like?
So we are in the same ballpark of it really doesn't matter what the movie is. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it good bad?
I will say that I like bad movies more than you do.
You do. You're more into
Also, Nick Cage might be one of my, if not my favorite actor of all time, he's one of my favorite actors of all time. Love Nicolas fucking Cage. Anyways, go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you're more into those. We both love good bad movies. Roadhouse podcast is going to be a big one here. Top Gun podcast. Face Off.
Oh my God, Face Off. I want to take his face off.
So I do like those. I'm not as big of a fan of the bad movies as you.
Okay.
The whatever giant squid movie that's attacking the.
I think it's Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
Sure.
Yeah, that's on my DVD rack, everybody.
Yeah, you can.
I own that on DVD. I bought it with my own money.
I'm going to be mad at you when we have to do those movies. Like, actually mad at you.
Love that.
So you're more into those movies. I'm more into the Oscar movie. I'm more into the Oscars in general.
Yes.
Not that I always like the movies more, but I've got a lot of stuff to say about the Oscars.
You're the only reason I know anything about the Oscars. You're also the only reason I know anything about the NFL draft.
Did I text you when the slap happened?
Yes.
Okay.
You did.
I don't remember. I texted.
And I wasn't even watching the Oscars, but you texted me.
I knew you weren't.
Yeah.
But I figured you needed to know that Will Smith just slapped the shit out of Chris Rock.
Speaking of you telling me everything I need to know about the NFL draft, you like sports movies more than I do.
I love sports movies. You're not a big fan.
I'm not. Sports movies are probably my least favorite kind of movies. I know I said that about romantic comedies, but I think it's sports movies. And I think the reason is I only like NFL football, and football movies tend to suck.
So the problem with football movies is A, there's 22 people on the team.
Yep.
That's way too many. And secondly, it's hard to film on field, on court, on ice, on ring, whatever it is. Football seems to be the hardest sport to get that right on camera.
Yes.
It doesn't translate to camera very well.
No.
Baseball does. You just need someone throwing a ball, someone hitting a ball. Maybe someone's got to catch a fly ball every now and then. Whatever.
Is it one of your favorite movies, a baseball movie?
The movie, I would say the movie I like more than pretty much anybody else on the planet is Bull Durham.
That's Kevin Costner, right?
Kevin Costner, Tim Robbins in a love triangle.
Okay. I love Tim Robbins.
Okay.
I love Kevin Costner.
All right. They are in a love triangle with Susan Sarandon.
Okay. Are we doing that movie on this podcast with me?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
I love minor league baseball.
Okay. You do love it's a minor league baseball film?
Oh, yeah.
You do love minor league baseball.
I do. They're into bits. I like bits. The names are great. They do bits in the stadium. I've got a Vermont Lake Monsters hat. I got a Richmond Flying Squirrels hat. There's a Binghamton Rumble Ponies.
Okay.
Rumble Ponies is
Rumble
the mascot.
Ponies. Okay.
They got a new AAA team in Amarillo.
Okay.
You know what their nickname is?
I want to know.
The Sod Poodles.
Oh my God, the Sod Poodles. That's my favorite team. And it's Texas.
It is.
The Amarillo Sod Poodles. That's me. I want a hat.
Okay, we'll get one. I need to get one too.
Cool.
Because it's like red, white, and blue.
Okay.
So it matches, anything.
Yeah.
If you're not following the Savannah Bananas on social media...
Who are the Savannah Bananas?
They are a minor league baseball team out of Savannah that loves doing bits.
Okay.
So they've got a pitcher out there pitching on stilts, and they've got a guy who's at bat and his bat's on fire.
Oh my God.
Like he does the old bar trick where he puts some...
Is their logo a peeled banana or an unpeeled banana?
I think they have several. I think they have them both ways. The
I don't know
unpeeled ones are funnier.
I don't know who I like more, the Savannah Bananas or the Amarillo Sod Poodles.
You know what a sod poodle is?
No. I don't want to know. Don't even tell me.
Fine.
I just want to see this logo when I get the fucking hat.
Okay.
I don't want to know what it looks like.
All right. Because I'm probably going to order one this summer. So I'll order you one too.
All right, cool. I'm excited for my Sod Poodle hat. Cool. Fuck yeah.
So, Jay and Silent Bob.
Strikes Back.
I always forget the Strikes Back.
And that's okay. I won't ever let you forget.
Does anybody else forget it, or is it just me?
It's probably just you. But also, I've seen this movie 40 plus times, so there's no telling it could just be me. It's Jay and Silent Bob. Strikes Back.
It's so long.
That's okay. Just like my dick.
So, a movie that can be summarized by Hulu in a bad review as when best buddies Jay and Silent Bob discover that a major motion picture is based on their likenesses, they head to Hollywood to claim the big money they deserve.
That summary is totally wrong because they weren't going to Hollywood for the fucking money.
No, they were going to stop their movie from being made.
That you're not even when you turn that movie on, that's not what's happening based on that summary. That's Hulu.
That's Hulu.
We like Hulu.
We do.
We typically rag on IMDb and Wikipedia because they're the worst. Glad to put it on 300.
With the bad review out of the way, you want to hear a better review?
I do. Who's it from?
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Prime TV, whatever it is.
I've seen some bad reviews on Amazon Prime, so I'm excited to hear a good one.
Okay, yeah, this is a rare good one.
Okay.
I don't know. They might be great at movies.
Sure. I mean, and it might be 50-50, because I've seen some bad movies, but I haven't seen one yet, so I'm excited.
Jay and Silent Bob head to Hollywood to sabotage a film that stars their comic book alter egos in this raucous comedy.
Raucous. I love the word uses of raucous.
I don't think there's a better way to describe this movie than raucous.
I don't either.
You?
I don't either, no. It is a raucous fucking comedy.
You know what audience had to say about the raucous comedy?
No, but please do tell me.
So this is weird. I haven't done this long enough to really understand the IMDb.
It's a bunch of user reviews. IMDb.
Well, yeah, but I haven't figured out what's good, what's bad, etc., etc.
Okay.
I don't know the nuances of them.
Okay.
But this one seemed odd to me. IMDb, a 6.8 out of 10, which is pretty good for IMDb.
Sure.
53% for Rotten Tomatoes.
That's bad, right?
Which is bad for Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And a 51% from Metacritic, which is about in the middle. Critics are hard. That's not near as bad a score as it seems.
Okay. So even though it's 51% on Metacritic, it's not the same as Rotten Tomatoes, 53%.
Correct.
Okay.
A 51% on Metacritic is much higher than 53% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, interesting. So Rotten Tomatoes is really the only one that ragged on this movie.
Right.
Okay.
Speaking of ragging on the movies, we always do a Roger Ebert review.
We do.
What do you think Roger Ebert had to say?
I don't think he liked this. That so far I'm 4 for 0 on Roger Ebert reviews. I've really been nailing these, and considering this is one of my all-time favorite movies, and it's weird because this movie, I think this movie is perfect. I don't know if it cracks my top 10.
Okay,
but it in an alternate universe it does, and I don't think Roger Ebert likes this movie.
3 out of 4 stars.
Get the fuck out of here.
A certified thumbs up. You are now 1 and 4 on
4 and 1.
4 and 1. Sorry, yes.
Fuck you, Roger.
On what did Roger Ebert think of this movie?
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
Fuck him.
He really enjoyed the breaking down of the fourth wall.
Of course, it's perfect.
He liked how Kevin Smith put all his characters in a universe.
Okay.
He liked that they didn't take Hollywood super Hollywood serious.
Okay.
He did obviously mention that this is one of those movies you're either going to love or you're going to hate. If you like Kevin Smith, if you liked Mallrats, Clerks, Dogma, Chasing Amy, you'll like it.
Okay.
So, a couple quotes I wanted to read about him that were just too good not to read in this thing. Whether you like Jay and Silent Bob depends on who you are. Most movies are made for everybody. Kevin Smith's movies are either made specifically for you or specifically not made for you.
Yep.
If you read this review without a smile or a nod of recognition in response to Kevin Smith, I would recommend Rush Hour 2, which is for everybody or nobody, you tell me.
Ooh, throwing shade on Rush Hour 2. Okay, Roger.
Where did that come from?
No idea.
This is not a review of Rush Hour 2. Why are you bagging on Rush Hour 2?
Right? Maybe same year. Even the same opening weekend.
Well, yeah, probably.
Came out. No, it did. It came out same opening weekend.
Wow.
So Roger probably watched these movies back to back.
Gotcha. And this is in the review, but it's not necessarily part of the review. It's at the bottom. Note, Smith agreed to add a disclaimer to the end of the movie saying the use of anti-gay slurs in real life is not acceptable.
Okay. Because this movie had heavy gay slurs.
However, he refused to apologize for the film, stating, quote, "I'm not sorry because I didn't make the jokes at the expense of the gay community. I made the jokes at the expense of two characters who neither I nor the audience have ever held up to be the paragon of intellect. They're idiots." End quote.
Paragon of intellect. They're idiots. Yes, you did, Kevin Smith. I fucking love that. You know, it's funny. Kevin Smith actually wrote this movie to not bring controversy because Dogma brought so much controversy.
Religious community stuff?
Probably.
Okay.
Why wouldn't it? God's not a woman. If God's real, certainly not a woman.
And it's Alanis Morissette.
She'd get pissed off once a month.
Especially a Canadian woman.
Yeah. She'd get pissed off once a month. God can't be a woman.
I got one hand in my pocket and the other one smoking a cigarette. She did give Uncle Joey a blowjob in a movie theater.
She did. That was said perfectly by Kevin Smith, and I agree with that. Like, none of the gay jokes upset me in the entire movie because they're not good people and they're fucking dumb.
Right. You are not supposed to behave like these people.
No.
Whatever they do, you should do the opposite.
Yes. And it's okay to laugh at them because they're idiots.
Right.
Bad review. You have a bad one for review, don't you?
I've got one that's even worse than this.
Because I swear to God, I thought Roger was going to give me a bad one, so give me a bad one.
This is a movie you really, really enjoy. You've seen it almost as much as any other movie.
Yep.
Let me know what you think of Michael Atkinson of the Village Voices review of Jay and Silent Bob. Strikes Back.
Strikes Back. Okay.
Stunning in its guileless self-love, Smith's Doodle movie shows virtually no sign of being made for an audience. The 90-minute byproduct of Smith's "let's shoot a movie" pot party can be mystifying. We've all stood soberly by as high friends guffaw at nothing in particular.
Wait, guffaw? Is that a word?
Yes.
What's it mean?
Fawn over, just general...
Okay, Michael. Guffaw. Heard. Keep going.
We've all stood soberly by as high friends guffaw at nothing in particular. But now we can pay for the privilege.
And I paid twice. I bought the DVD and the Blu-ray, and I lost a 2-disc DVD set, and I'm gonna fucking buy it again.
Did you rent it as well at Blockbuster?
No, I didn't rent it.
Okay,
I didn't
straight up bought it.
I didn't need to. I bought this movie.
You knew.
Well, my friend showed me Mallrats and Dogma as my introduction to Jay and Silent Bob and Kevin Smith, and so when I saw this movie on DVD, special edition 2-disc set, I bought it immediately and watched it. And there are so many deleted scenes from this movie, BJ.
How many?
Like 38 or 42.
Oh.
And the reason they got cut, for the majority of the reason, is because they wouldn't get past an NCAA 17 rating. One of the deleted scenes, so they get out of the Jeep, after Jay just got done going down on that girl, and there's a couple LA hookers. Hey, little man, you want some of this? How about you, big boy? You got $50? We can get nasty. Oh, yeah? How nasty, says Jay. As nasty as you want to be, Poppy. And then Jay responds with, oh, all right. Well, first, I want you to tongue my bung while you juggle my balls in one hand and play with my asshole with the other. But don't stick your finger in. Then I want to pinky you while I stick in your fucking friend's brown while Silent Bob watches and fucking spanks it in a Dixie cup. After that, I want to smell your titties for a while and you can pull my nutsack up over my dick so it looks like a bullfrog. Then I want you to fucking flick my nuts while your friend spanks me off in the same Dixie cup that Silent Bob jizzed in. Then we throw the Dixie cup out. Then there's
oh my God.
Then there's a stunned silence and the hooker goes, oh, that's it, honey. I quit. This job just passed the point of no return. And Jay goes, what? You said nasty.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
So that's what you're missing on those.
And again, these are not good people. Do not act like them.
Some great shit in these deleted scenes.
2 movies in a row. We're talking about NC-17.
Yes.
Borderline NC-17.
We love NC-17 here. Make more of them. Damn it.
Borderline NC-17.
Yeah, but I'll watch an NC-17 movie. Fuck it.
Again, bring back the erotic thriller, Hollywood.
Please. Please. And the comedies that go totally batshit off the wall, like Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. All hail Kevin Smith.
We know what the audience thought. We know what the critics thought. At least 2 of them and some random scores on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
How did it do in the box office?
The box office, it made the opening weekend $11 million on a $22 million budget.
Oh, half its money in the first weekend.
It did.
That's good.
Yep. Which in 2022 is $18 million to $36 million budget. So they made $18 million.
So the budget was over $20 million?
22 million in 2021. Okay. 36 million in 2022.
All right, I'm glad I didn't guess because this is one of those movies that do cameos cost money?
Some of them have to.
How much do you have to pay Chris Rock? Are you paying him $10,000? Are you paying him $2 million? I don't know.
I mean, Chris Rock has top billing. He's on the movie poster. He's on the DVD cover. I bet he was a pretty penny.
He's worth it.
You have Gus Van Sant, Wes Craven, Sean William Scott, George Carlin, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher.
Don't underestimate how big Jason Biggs and James Vanderbeek were.
Oh, 100%. They were huge in 2001.
Right.
In fact, they were so big that with American Pie 2, just with Jason Biggs, that was the #1 movie, August 26, 2021, which is the same weekend Jay and Silent Bob got released. It was the 3rd best comedy of that weekend.
Well, second.
Followed by American Pie 2, right. Rush Hour 2.
Oh, so they did. So that's why Roger Ebert. Gotcha.
Yes,
okay.
yes. And worldwide gross, $34 million in 2001.
I'm assuming that's all USA and Canada, all North America?
France, too.
Oh, it was big in France?
Had a pretty big showing in France. In fact, one of the little bits of trivia is the use of the word fuck was replaced with the French word for shit.
Okay.
It only ran for 4 weeks in the theater and made $34 million in 2001.
Wow.
That's $55 million today.
That's a lot for a movie that I kind of considered a cult classic.
Yeah. Big opening for a cult classic.
Sure. Speaking of the cult following with this movie, pretty big cult following after this movie came out, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the way it is for all Kevin Smith movies. I think all Kevin Smith movies have a cult following. He's a cult director while at the same time not being a cult director. It's weird. Because all his movies, I feel, have a pretty big opening weekend and worldwide for comedy movies and considering the budget. But then they just make so much more money after the theatrical run, too.
Because people love Kevin Smith.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a pro Kevin Smith podcast.
Oh, definitely a pro.
Minus that cocksucker you read earlier.
No, he's not on this podcast.
No, I know, but just he was very negative.
He was.
Yeah. He personally attacked Kevin Smith.
That was a really cruel review.
It was. Like, we're just trying to have a good fucking time. We're trying to take some fucking doobie snacks.
Doobie snacks.
So, BJ, you got your cherry popped. You were the one. I've seen this movie 40 plus times.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Strikes Back.
Strikes Back. Strike Back? Strikes Back.
Strikes Back.
Strikes Back.
Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. Because they're killing those fucking Hollywood executives.
Oh, yeah.
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 And every one of them bitches that wrote a bad review. Yeah.
That doesn't matter. They're 14. We're going to beat his ass up.
So tell me how you felt the first time watching this movie, BJ.
So I've seen about half the Kevin Smith movies. I've seen Mallrats. I've seen Dogma. I've seen Clerks. But I haven't seen all of them. So I'm expecting a Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma style movie. Spoiler alert, it's not.
No. Out of any of those three movies, the closest one would be Dogma, and it still ain't that close.
No.
But that's the closest one.
And it took me a while to kind of figure out, oh, this isn't Clerks. This isn't Mallrats. This is... they're breaking down the fourth wall.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it took me a while to get on board, but once I was on board...
Well, you say took you a while. When did you finally get on board?
The Ben Affleck scene.
Okay.
When
Holden McNeil?
Yeah.
Look at these two morose motherfuckers right here. Looks like someone just shit in their cereal.
Oh, God.
He's
so obnoxious.
He's so obnoxious. Okay, but that scene tied you into the whole movie.
Right.
So when the movie first started, you're thinking, what in the actual fuck is Jacob making me watch?
Yes. I had no idea. I was like, this is not Mallrats.
Yeah, because it opens with Silent Bob's mom parking him. All right, stay right here so Mommy goes and gets the free cheese. This will keep the sun out of your eyes. And she puts the hat on backwards. And then Jay's mom comes up. All right, don't you fucking move, you little fucking shit machine. Mama's going to try and scar. And then this guy walks out. Hey, who's watching these kids? Oh, the fat one's watching the little one? Oh, yeah. Leave him like that and see what happens. You know, fuck you fucking square. See that motherfucker, man? Tell me how to fucking raise you, motherfucker, man. What's the worst fucking thing that can happen to you? Stay outside a fucking store, right?
I had no idea. At that point, I was like, what is this movie?
And to answer your other question, yes, this movie's all memorized in my head. It's disgusting.
Should we have just done a reading the script of this movie instead of a podcast?
It would have worked.
Probably.
100%.
It's that good.
My first time watching this movie blew my fucking mind. It's everything I wanted. I didn't know what I was getting into because I had seen Mallrats and Dogma. I hadn't seen Clerks yet. Hadn't seen Clerks 2. Turn this movie on, and it's everything that I wanted it to be. So much so that I've watched this movie 40 plus times. I just had it on repeat. All those deleted scenes, I've seen numerous times. All 38 or 42, I forgot what it was. I've seen them all. And those deleted scenes, they had an introduction to each scene. I've seen the introductions.
You're going to get that DVD.
I'm going to buy it for a third time. I'm going to buy Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back for a third time. You hear me, Kevin Smith? I fucking love you and this movie. Upon rewatch, I felt the same way I did the first time I watched it.
Still awesome.
Still awesome. I quoted it throughout the movie. I had to make sure that my girlfriend was paying attention to certain parts of the movie because I'm just like, you can't miss this shit right here.
That's when you know someone's a movie lover, when you're watching a movie with them that they've seen before, and you're kind of, maybe you're thinking about something else, maybe you're playing on your phone, and they kind of like elbow nudge you, and they're like, watch this.
I'm so obnoxious, sometimes I'll pause the movie. I'll be like, here it comes. Yeah, I'm fucking obnoxious.
Do not ever do that with me.
No. And I say sometimes. This is the kind, and it's only when I'm at home with my girlfriend. Like, she could be in the kitchen, using the bathroom, in the room getting something, and I'm just like, oh my God, pause. But if we're both sitting on the couch, you're right, I nudge her. But I will pause the movie, goddammit.
So I'm not shocked at how much you love this movie, because this movie essentially was made for you.
Yes.
It's a slacker comedy. It's a dick and farts comedy. It's a stoner comedy. It's breaking down the fourth wall.
Cameos.
Yes, all of that. So that doesn't surprise me that you've seen this movie that many times. Because I have a suspicion that it's going to get better the more times I watch.
Oh, it 100% gets better.
Okay.
It 100% gets better.
I felt that watching the movie. I wasn't really sure why, but I didn't really pay close enough attention to the background stuff. Because I know Kevin Smith. I know some of that background stuff's going to be awesome.
Yep.
So I had that sneaky suspicion it's going to get better.
And there's all these little funny funny bits, like them walking out of the bus. When they start charging for the bus, didn't we used to ride that shit to school for free? Or when Will Ferrell first shows up and he parks his little moped on the van that's clearly evidence, and he's like, "Can I park that here?"
Oh, Will Ferrell.
Like just small shit,
Yes.
just small shit like that. And I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan.
And Will Ferrell takes the perfect role in this movie, which is 10-minute. I call it 10-minute Will Ferrell.
Yes.
He does it. I think the best he does it is Wedding Crashers, but this is up there.
Yes.
This is what Will Ferrell does best: is come in and juice your movie up for 10 minutes.
And he fucking does it.
He does.
Oh my God, Will Ferrell was so good in this movie. No, the clit's real. That's the myth. It's the female orgasm.
That almost made the top of the show quote. That was close. Not gonna lie, it was close.
I am the clit commander. Anytime you see a clit, you think of this fucking face. Not this fuck, not any of these fucks.
So here's a big question.
Let me hear it.
Is this a good movie?
Yes. It is a good movie. I call it a bad movie only because if you're not into this, you're not going to like it.
Right.
But I feel that anybody that really likes movies or truly enjoys movies, like even Roger Ebert, he's a movie critic because he loves movies.
Right.
I don't know what that other fuck was doing. But if you love movies, all the cameos, all the stupid jokes, the fact that Kevin Smith does a fantastic job at not taking himself or the movie seriously. Like, it's just a great movie. You can tell everyone's having a fucking blast.
The throwbacks to the old Hollywood movies. There was an E.T. flashback. There was a Michael. Was there a
Scream?
Ah, yes.
There was a Scream reference. There was a Good Will Hunting.
Yes, obviously.
There was a Movies, which is an in-movie reference to a character that Kevin Smith made up. But it was still a movie. Right. Miramax.
Right.
It was amazing.
Solid job, guys.
I love that he didn't take himself seriously. And you're right, this movie was made for me. I watched this movie and it's everything that I want.
So speaking of Kevin Smith not taking himself too seriously, I think a great topic on this movie would be to kind of discuss the overall overarching theme, breaking down the fourth wall.
It happens so often in this movie.
It does.
And it was great every time that it did.
I don't know how much. I didn't count.
Who would watch
5?
Who would watch a Jay and Silent Bob movie? It's got to be more than 5. I mean, I have 4 written down in my notes, and I'm for sure short. Another one was when Will Ferrell was talking about the jewelry heist and the animals escaping. They're like, that sounds like something out of a bad movie.
Look directly into camera.
Or when Ben Affleck and Matt Damon during the Good Will Hunting scene. Good Will Hunting 2, Good Hunting.
Oh,
Ben Affleck says, "Hey, look, I'm sorry I dragged you away from whatever gay serial killers who ride horses and like to play golf touchy-feely picture you're supposed to be doing this week. You're like a child. What have I been telling you? You got to do the safe picture. Then you got to do the art picture. But sometimes you got to do the payback picture because your friend says you owe him." And that's breaking down the fourth wall. He owed Kevin Smith. They both did.
Right. Because
Kevin Smith, I don't know if you know this, Kevin Smith is the reason we got Good Will Hunting. He took that script from Ben Affleck to Matt Damon and took it to Miramax, and that's what got it greenlit.
I owe Kevin Smith much more than I thought I did.
Yeah, because Good Will Hunting is the basis for this fucking podcast.
Good Will Hunting is the basis for this podcast.
Tell that story real quick.
So this was at the it was 2022, February 2022.
This fucking year.
The Super Bowl that the Rams won. They beat the Bengals.
Okay.
We still love Joey Burrow on this podcast. We're a pro Joe Burrow podcast.
We are a pro Joe Burrow podcast. We're also a pro Matthew Stafford podcast.
That's true.
And I'm a Green Bay Packers fan.
Well, it's not like he beat you a whole lot.
He did not, which is why I can be a Matthew Stafford fan.
I don't know why I said you. You're not on the fucking team.
I'm a fucking owner, goddammit.
Oh, goddamn. That's the most annoying thing about Packers fans. They're all owners.
You're goddamn right.
God damn it.
I have no say whatsoever. But
of course.
I'm a fucking owner.
That's all that matters.
I'm as important as Jerry Jones.
You've sat in the owner suites at Lambeau, haven't you?
Yes.
Because the owner suites is the whole stadium.
Yeah, it's the whole fucking stadium.
Because they're all owners.
That's right. So, yeah. But yeah, breaking down the fourth wall, fucking great. Amazing.
Do you want to talk about how many times it happens in this movie?
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure
We'll get to them later.
Well, they'll be brought up. It happens throughout the movie. It happens more than 4 times.
So the best part...
And the crazy thing is it happens more than 4 times, but it's never too much. Never too much.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Because I think that would get annoying if it was constant breaking of the fourth wall.
Yes, and it would be annoying if more movies did it more often.
Correct.
Because me and you are both huge fans of breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, yeah. My favorite thing about breaking the fourth wall is it never takes itself too seriously. And that's the problem with a lot of Hollywood movies. They just take themselves far too seriously.
Yes.
I think that Fast and the Furious learned this at some point.
Yes.
They stopped taking themselves so seriously, and they started making much better movies.
I agree. 100% I agree.
So, breaking down the fourth wall in that range, just not taking it so seriously. This is a movie. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and it's a good bad movie. It's Kevin Smith.
Sure.
You're going to get a lot of fucks. You're going to get a lot of dick and fart jokes. You don't take it seriously either as the audience.
No.
You're going to have a good time.
No, these guys are idiots.
Yeah.
They're idiots.
If you take it seriously, you're going to hate the movie.
Of course.
I.e. that one critic.
Must be.
Yep.
He was trying too hard.
Yeah, he's got to stick up his ass.
So what is your favorite breaking the fourth wall moment in film and television? Do you have one?
No. I just like it when it happens.
Okay.
When it happens, it's a real treat to me.
Okay.
I'm like, ooh.
Because it happens on TV quite a bit, too.
Yeah. So I don't have a favorite one. I just like it when it happens. Do you have a favorite?
I do.
Okay.
Ocean's 12, Julia Roberts playing Tish, who they need for a theft bit because she looks so much like Julia Roberts.
I love that.
I think a lot of people hate that part of that movie. It's the best part.
The best part of the whole movie, Ocean's 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ocean's 12 is good.
Okay. I haven't seen it in 10, 15 years, so I can't even comment.
Ocean's 12 is good.
Okay. Cool.
Don't worry. We may do Ocean's 12 before Ocean's 11.
Okay. I'm so down.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I love looking at attractive people.
They're all attractive.
I know. And it's a heist movie.
Casey Affleck is like the least good-looking person in the movie.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac. Sorry, Bernie Mac.
Sorry, Bernie Mac.
Oh, no. It's the old guy that bankrolls everything.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know better than I do.
Well, we'll save this.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll save this for the Ocean's 12 podcast. Did you like anything in particular about this movie?
Just things we've already said. I love the cameos. The cameos are awesome. I love a whole movie being just Jay and Silent Bob because they're just they're both fucking ridiculous, and I love ridiculous movies. I love the stupid jokes. I already brought that up. I loved all the gay jokes. I know Kevin Smith got a lot of flack for that, but I thought they were all funny. And I'm not part of that community, but I feel like I'm pretty empathetic. I didn't think any of them took any bashes at the community. I really loved the gay jokes. Loved Will Ferrell. Yeah.
It was much more critical to Hollywood than it was the
I think
LGBT
so too.
community.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. What'd you like about the movie?
So Kevin Smith is fantastic. What he does to purposely make a movie look bad is really hard, but that's a big part of the charm of this movie and his movies. That making it look bad, even though you had a $22 million budget for this movie.
Yeah.
And that stuff's all on purpose, and I really like it. I think it's genius.
Okay. Nice.
It's a comedy. Was there anything you found super interesting or funny upon your 40-plus rewatch?
Oh, everything. From the moment it starts to the moment it ends. Everything is funny to me. There's not one moment in this movie I'm not laughing.
It goes through the whole movie. It's essentially the movie version of an episode of Family Guy.
Yes.
Where it doesn't really matter. We don't really care.
No.
We'll go back in time. We'll break down the fourth wall sometimes, not others.
Yep.
Who knows? It's essentially...
And like a Family Guy episode, I can start this at any moment in the movie.
It doesn't matter.
Nope. I know what's going on. I'm in for the rest of it.
If it's on TV, there's no, you're like, I gotta watch 20 minutes of this to get to the good part. No, it just kind of rolls smoothly.
Yeah, it's all good. All good.
If there's nothing else to add on anything you else found in this movie, we've talked about the movie overall, but this is my favorite part, where we dive deep into the movie.
And we love getting deep.
Oh, yeah.
Just like everybody in their first time, trying to get as deep as they possibly can.
that requires us to discuss individual scenes in our Mount Rushmore of scenes.
Fuck yes.
Ooh. So I just saw this movie, so I guess that means I'm going first with my fourth favorite scene in the movie, and it's the second scene in the movie. It's when they talk to Ben Affleck, when he's Hayden. I always want to say Hayden Caulfield, but that's definitely the author to Catcher in the Rye.
Okay.
What's his name?
I have no idea. I've never seen Catcher in the Rye.
No. Ben Affleck.
Holden McNeil. Holden McNeil.
What a great douche scene. And this scene was when I didn't know what was going on in that first scene. Maybe even the second scene. But when you get to meet Ben Affleck, I'm like, oh, I get it. It's a parody. Cool. They're breaking down the fourth wall. Awesome. Let's go. So kind of what it did for the movie going forward.
Yeah.
Maybe more than it actually being a great scene or a funny scene.
I mean, the scene was fucking funny. It starts off with, it was one of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
It starts off with Ben Affleck. Look at these two morose motherfuckers right here. Looks like someone shit in their cereal. Bung. And just coming off awful.
Oh, what a douche.
Moviepoopshoot.com. Love moviepoopshoot.com.
Is that a real website?
It was when this movie came out.
Was it? They portrayed it as?
Yes, and it had those reviews that were on there about the movie coming out. It was a real website. Two monologues in that scene that I absolutely love. Holden McNeil. Why in God's name would I want to keep writing about characters whose central occupation are weed and dick and fart jokes? I mean, you gotta grow, man. Don't you ever want anything more for yourself? I know this poor hapless son of a bitch does. I look into his sorry doe eyes and I see a man crying out. He's crying, when, Lord? When the fuck can your servant ditch this foul-mouthed little chucklehead to whom I am a constant victim of his folly, so much so that it prevents him from ever getting to kiss a girl? Fuck, when, Lord? When? When's gonna be my time?
Oh, I was so mean to Kevin Smith.
But Kevin Smith is sitting there, Silent Bob is shaking his head yes.
I know.
And the reason he is because that was improv. Ben Affleck came up with that on the spot.
On the spot?
And Kevin Smith was shaking his head yes, like, oh my God, that is what Silent Bob feels like.
Ben Affleck, funnier than I thought.
Yeah. And then one of my favorite Jay monologues out of the whole movie. You know, maybe one night me and Lunchbox were out macking some chicken shit, and she's like, oh, I want to suck you guys' dicks off. And she's like, what's your names? And I'm like, Jay and Silent Bob, recognize. And she's like, oh, I've read on the internet that fucking used guys are a couple of little fucking jerk-offs. And then she goes and sucks two other guys' dicks off instead. Well, fuck that.
What a ridiculous scenario.
And Ben Affleck just rolling his fucking eyes at that. Just like, okay, dude. Like, that'll ever fucking happen. That was a good start to the Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
My fourth favorite scene, I'll start off with a quote. Take that, you dirty sheep fucker!
Sean William Scott.
As he throws Sean William Scott out of the van.
Stifler.
The Stiffmeister. Hey, Mr. Science Guy. Don't spray that aerosol in my eye.
Oh, God.
I don't really want to die. I'm a noble rabbit.
What an awesome song. What an awesome song.
I'm asking him if he would fuck sheep. Like, sheep are beautiful creatures. Oh, God, yes. Would you fuck a sheep? What is your damage, little boy? And then just be like, nah, dude. If you were a sheep, would you fuck another sheep? And then the look in Sean William Scott eyes, he didn't need to be another sheep. He'd have fucked a sheep.
Oh, yeah.
And then to make this scene even better, you had the devils appear on Jay's shoulders. And this is the time where an angel shows up and tells you not to pull your dick out. But we bitch slap that motherfucker and send him packing. And Trouser Snake. And then the angel shows up and says, that's it, boy. Put the dick down. You got to go from the heart, yo. No little perv bullshit's going to work out for this one. Be smooth. Be Don Juan Delanuche. Now I got to beat the shit out of those putch sucker little bitches. Remember, don't pull your dick out till she asks or until she's sleeping.
Oh,
boom.
That should not have made me laugh as much as it did.
Honestly, as a Miramax film, that fucking fits.
Oh,
Harvey Weinstein!
Oh, I hate when the Harvey Weinstein thing shows up on any.
Yes.
We need to get that off of streaming. Just black it out.
Yeah, please. Like, just tell me that you introduced it to Miramax, not to Harvey Weinstein, please. All right, your third favorite scene.
So this actually fits perfect because it leads right into the heist scene.
Okay.
The jewelry heist, the freeing the monkey.
That's your third favorite scene?
That's my third favorite scene.
Okay. That was one of my honorable mentions as well, because I had like 9 scenes to choose from for my Mount Rushmore. It was tough.
I can see that.
Oh shit, this is a horse tranquilizer. This shit fucked you up like Percocet. Put this in your backpack so me and Justice can shoot each other up and fuck like stone test bunnies. Bung.
So they take the trank gun. They don't take any trank fluid.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm pretty sure.
The monkey uses that later in the movie to shoot Will Ferrell.
When you watch it your 47th time,
pay attention.
Pay attention, because I didn't rewind it or anything. But I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay. I'm surprised I haven't even noticed that how many times I've watched this fucking movie.
The heist portion with the lasers and how they're comically defying gravity.
Yes.
To get to the other side.
Yes. And Justice making fun of him with little hand gestures and being just a badass.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I think you brought this up. This is the worst wardrobe out of any movie we've ever seen. And those skin-tight leather outfits, like, I don't think that's hot.
No, I don't.
You don't need that.
This is a product of that kind of late 90s, early 2000s.
Yep.
Where it was the worst fashion ever.
Yes.
Because there are weird things that they do, and they'll use weird colors. But at that time frame, no one wore anything that fit properly.
Yeah, it was either too baggy or too tight.
Right, at least like when they're running bell bottoms in the 70s, it fits through your knee.
Sure.
And then it gets ridiculous.
Yes.
Nothing fit from like 1996 to 2004.
No. And the only people it made sense for were Jay and Silent Bob because they carried drugs.
Exactly.
They're the only people that needed baggy clothes.
Gotta hide it somewhere.
And so I'm assuming this scene for you starts with the clip monologue.
Yes. The clip monologue is the start of this scene.
What a great monologue. When you see a clip, don't you think of any fucking face. Not this fuck, not any of you fucking fucks. I am the Clint Commander.
They say fuck a lot in this movie.
They say fuck a lot. I have a little tidbit on that later.
Perfect.
My third favorite scene, the opening scene.
Okay, this is my first time watching it. I was confused the whole first scene.
I can quote the whole first scene.
I didn't know what the fuck was happening in that first scene.
Of course you didn't. And it's amazing. The song, the moms, you see Jay and Silent Bob as kids.
What song were they playing? Some Boston's More Than a Feeling?
No, it was Jay's song. Fuck. Mother, fuck, motherfuck, noise. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, noise. Smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers, rolling fatty, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts. Rolling blunts, smoking blunts, and then the rest of it.
Right. Hey, little man, $15 in my hand.
$15 in my hand. If you don't, oh nope, that wasn't it.
That was Catch a Tiger by itself.
It was. But yeah, and then getting arrested, doing the gay joke about Dante and Randall. And great for Dante and Randall to show up in this. Kevin Smith pulling out old characters. The sign on the quick stop, I assure you were open.
I can't believe Judi Dench played me in a movie. It was Judi Dench, right?
I think so, yeah. All right, your second favorite scene.
Second favorite scene has got to be the Will Ferrell chasing Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh, the diner scene.
Starting at the diner.
Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Yeah, fuck them. Way to go, Ice-T. Making it in a Jay and Silent Bob movie.
Ice Cube.
Oh, yeah. Ice-T had the, what movie? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
The album is Body Count, and it's fucking awesome.
Okay.
It's a heavy metal rap album with Ice-T as the vocalist. It's called Body Count. Enjoy.
So with the diner, when they walk out, and they put the monkey in a hoodie, and Will Ferrell is...
Will Ferrell.
Yes.
He's Will Ferrell. The last thing I need is for some uppity gay couple to go back to their liberal city home and say that the wildlife marshal of Utah is against the gays. And then Jay just being like, well, that's a very fine son you got there. Yeah, it's because he's made from my sperm. Got this girl that I hook up with that way not to be all the way gay. But my tubby husband here loves the cock.
Oh, ridiculous. It has the Winnie the Pooh going through the sewer scene.
I do good impersonations of this movie.
You've seen it 40-something times.
Yes, yes.
Will Ferrell chasing him down in the sewer.
Love that. Because it doesn't end until Kevin Smith's Silent Bob
yes.
yells at Jay.
If the person we've been waiting for 3 movies, or 4 movies, however many he's in, to talk, he finally says something. If that's not in this scene, I don't choose it.
You know, funny thing, I know you don't watch a lot of Kevin Smith movies, and I know you've seen some. You just haven't seen him in a while. Silent Bob talks at least once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you know it's going to happen eventually, but because his name's Silent Bob and you've only seen the movie once, you forget.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
the sign on the back of the bus says Critters of Hollywood. You dumb fuck. Well, right before that, Jay's like, dude, come on. Don't play charades with me. You can't ever say like, oh yeah, the onion rings in one place were good fucking onion rings. Love that.
It's a nice payoff.
Yeah.
With him screaming at the end.
Yeah.
Especially how animated he is.
Yes.
After being silent for the whole movie.
And then Jay goes, I said say it, don't spray
it. Your second favorite?
The movie scene. When they meet Justice and they meet the girls. Another one of my favorite Jay monologues. They're all my favorite. Fuck it. But all you motherfuckers are gonna pay. You are the ones who are the ball lickers. We're gonna fuck your mothers while you watch and cry like little whiny bitches. Once we get to Hollywood and find those Miramax fucks who is making the movie, we're gonna make them eat our shit, then shit out our shit, and then eat their shit that's made up of our shit that we made them eat. Then all you motherfucks are next. Love, Jay and Silent Bob.
That's a hell of a comeback.
And then I think I just filled the cup.
Oh,
love
God.
that.
That was
and then troublesome. And then one of my picks for the opening quote of the movie: "Ladies, Jay and Silent Bob are in the hizzo."
Oh, ladies.
Can't believe fine ass bitches like you eat fast food. Don't you know it makes you fart?
Foreshadowing.
I fucking love foreshadowing. So yeah, that's my second favorite scene. What is your first favorite?
Favorite scene in the movie is the movie within a movie. When they're doing the adventures of Blunt Man and Chronic. And Chris Rock is the director.
Shakaloo the King.
What a name. If you heard that name, could you still be serious about the movie? No one can, right?
No.
Shakaloo
the King.
He was so angry.
You went to film school, didn't you? Must piss your daddy off to know you working for a black man. It will kill him, wouldn't it? I am Michael Scott impersonating Chris Rock for sure.
Meanwhile, this is 2001.
Yes.
Denzel Washington's the biggest star in Hollywood.
Yes.
No one's really even that close to him. People are fine working for a black man in 2001.
Sure. Especially in Hollywood.
Still love the character. And then Mark Hamill going for it.
All out. He's on his A game.
Oh, he is.
And he will not be upstaged by James Van Der Beek.
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. He's Mark fucking Hamill.
That's right. Luke Skywalker.
This is a goddamn lightsaber scene.
That's right. Bong saber.
Vibrator saber.
What?
Oh, yeah. Mark Hamill's lightsaber is a vibrator. Which, when you rewatch it, as the lightsaber comes out, you can see it kind of like rubber.
So you got a bong saber versus a dill saber?
100%.
And they're just going at it?
Fun little tidbit about that scene. The "Hey kids, it's Mark Hamill" was actually needed because through all the costumes and stuff, test audiences didn't know it was Mark Hamill, couldn't recognize him.
Oh, they didn't recognize it because he had this big stupid hair.
Yep. And it had been years since he had been in a live action movie. Years.
Stack those two on top of each other, I can see how people didn't recognize him.
Yep. So that was put in after the movie. after the test screening, my number one scene was the hitchhiking scene.
George Carlin?
George Carlin. All the way from George Carlin to Scooby-Doo. I have a tattoo of Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, yeah. Scooby-Doo's great.
The Scooby-Doo bit was funny. Doobie snacks. Shaggy talking about just leaving them in a seedy motel and cutting out their kidneys.
Oh, man. Shaggy was hard.
Shaggy was hard. One of the deleted scenes, Kevin Smith actually says that the whole point of this movie was for this one scene was big red rocket lipstick Scooby as they got high.
Oh, Scooby had a huge dog boner?
Had a huge dog boner. Saw it in the deleted scene. Like they passed over it and it was just rock hard 9 to 12 inches. Great Dane dog boner.
Yeah, it's a Great Dane.
Yeah.
It's a huge dog.
Fucking crazy.
Of course it has a huge dong.
Of course. And of course, in the movie motion pictures couldn't have that in the movie. They're like, you need to take that shit out.
I'm glad they did.
I mean, I've seen that deleted scene a couple times. It's fucking funny. I'd have been okay. But again, I'm a Scooby-Doo fan, and I'm cool with almost anything. George Carlin, unwritten book of the road.
Oh, you gotta give head if you want to get anywhere in this world, son.
I'll take a shot in the mouth for a couple hundred miles. Like, loved it. And then immediately after talking about the unwritten book of the road, getting into the car with Carrie Fisher, playing the nun, which call back to Dogma. Buddy Christ from Dogma was on the dashboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on the dashboard in Carrie Fisher's car. And she's just like, and Jay's like, thanks for picking us up. Doing to others. That's what the book says. Look of shock on Jay's face. You follow the book too? I live my life by the book. Do you? Well, you picked us up. I guess I gotta. Well, it's a lot easier to say you live by the book than to actually do it. Can you do it? And then he gets kicked out. Which, foreshadow, he's eating the girl out as he gets dropped off in California.
That's right.
In Hollywood.
But if you think this character that thinks a nun wants him to go down on her,
yeah, is
someone you should follow your life after and make your comedy after with all the gay jokes,
or take anything seriously from him,
gets taken away right then.
Yes, 100%.
That was a very different list. Usually we're kind of on the same page. We didn't have one overlapping top 4 scene.
All of yours were my honorable mentions.
Any ones I didn't mention that you want to talk about?
No. Wait, and I mean that's 8 scenes, and the way we counted the scenes, they were fucking long.
Oh yeah.
So we pretty much covered the whole movie. Our top 8 scenes were pretty much the whole movie.
That's true.
So we might not have overlapped, but we covered the whole fucking movie.
Move on to character breakdowns after our Mount Rushmore. Person to start with this movie is Jay.
Jason Mewes.
Of Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Strikes Back.
So I have a question for you. What's your favorite Jay monologue? You've heard me say a couple of them. The only one I missed was the monkey one.
Oh,
actually, I missed 2. It was the monkey one when he was pretending the monkeys take over the world.
Right. Planet of the Apes callback.
Yep. And then the other one was him talking about Jay. Or no, him talking about Justice in front of that other random store that they stopped at. He was like, this place licks balls compared to the Quick Stop. Speaking of licking balls, man, how about that Justice chick? She is too fine and smells so fucking pretty. She has a nice voice too, and that body, fucking smoking. You know, she didn't tell me to fuck off once when I was talking to her, or pull out the fucking pepper spray or anything. You know what, Lunchbox? She could be the one. The one for Jay is the one that doesn't pull out pepper spray. That's right. In the same scene, he goes, yo, baby, you ever had your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat? As
Justice is in the Quick Stop being like, he's so sweet and innocent.
So what's your favorite Jay monologue?
I don't know if this is actually a monologue, but when he's typing out the response to the mean internet people,
I consider that a monologue.
At the Smoochie.
Yeah, he's the only one talking. Movie.
He's
the only one talking. That's a monologue. That's also my favorite one.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I mean, how can I not like something that says, we're going to make you eat our shit, then shit out our shit, and eat your shit that's made up of our shit that we made you eat? You won me over.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Great. Awesome.
I was going to give you the choice to pick Silent Bob's last monologue when he's talking to Banky, but you weren't going to choose that.
No. The J monologues are better than the Silent Bob monologue.
100%. Another thing about Jason Mewes, I know earlier I said it seemed like everybody was having a fucking blast shooting this movie, but Kevin Smith actually had a horrible fucking time.
Why?
Jason Mewes was battling addiction.
Ugh.
He was kicking his heroin and cocaine habit.
While filming a movie?
While filming the movie. And the only way he could even function without those two drugs was to be blackout drunk. He was terrible to deal with. Jason Mewes even says he doesn't remember any of the production of the movie, which blows my mind at all his monologues and everything on how he was just... Like, Jason Mewes is a underrated comedic actor.
Fast talker.
Yes. Very fast talker. Very good at delivering lines. But yeah. In fact, Kevin Smith is the reason Jason Mewes got sober. After the movie, he let him move into his house. Jason Mewes ended up stealing money from him. And Kevin Smith was like, dude, I need you to get sober. I'll pay for rehab. Please just go. I'll even write Jay and Silent Bob into my next movie, thus giving us Clerks 2, which we have yet to watch, and we will. BJ, there is I don't want to say it, but there's a porch monkey scene in Clerks 2.
Oh, and yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
There's no way it's amazing.
It's amazing. Wanda Sykes is in it.
That makes it funnier.
Yeah.
Wanda Sykes is funny.
Wanda Sykes is real funny, and she does not hold back.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Oh, that's going to be uncomfortable.
It's gonna be real uncomfy. And let me tell you, that's not the only uncomfy scene in the movie.
I'm sure.
It's amazing. But anyways, yeah, that gave us Clerks 2.
So Kevin Smith he was real tight with Jason Mewes.
Oh yeah, they're best friends.
Oh, they're that tight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and whenever he shot Clerks, everyone he shot Clerks with were already his friends. So the guy that plays Randall and Dante and Jay and everybody that was in Clerks that's in all these other movies, they're all friends from back in the day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good for Kevin Smith.
Right.
Pro Kevin Smith podcast.
Yes, very pro Kevin Smith podcast.
Speaking of
Kevin Smith's character, Silent Bob. Let's talk about Silent Bob and Kevin Smith, the writer and director.
Yes. His writing and directing is more important to me than Silent Bob in this movie.
Yeah, I can see that. Because I don't know if you'd agree with this. He's a writer first.
I would think so. When I think of Kevin Smith, I think writer, then I think director, long before I think of actor.
Well, and director, honestly, is a close second. I mean, even with Clerks, I know this is not Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back trivia, but when he did Clerks, he maxed out all his credit cards and shot the movie at the Quick Stop, which he worked at the time, and did it overnight when the Quick Stop was closed.
Hustling.
So he was working like 3-4 hours of sleep.
Nose of the grindstone.
Yeah. But Kevin Smith's Silent Bob, too. I know this is your first time watching it, but after about the second or third time, or maybe on your third time, you can start not paying attention to Jay as he's talking. And all of the nods and hand gestures and different cues Kevin Smith does as Silent Bob, phenomenal.
I can see that. I can see them getting better with time. You can really notice the weird facial movements, shaking his head very comedically. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah. And it's, yeah. Everything Kevin Smith does with this movie, writing, directing, acting, I loved.
You're all for all of it?
All for all of it.
Will Ferrell, who played, I think, the perfect Will Ferrell part in this. What do you think about Will Ferrell?
Oh, I love Will Ferrell. From the moment he shows up. Parking his moped on the evidence of the van. Who let the cats out?
Clearly, the van's still on fire at that point.
Yeah. Oh no, the clit is real. That's the myth. It's the female orgasm.
That's the myth.
That's the myth. When he gets shot at the end. Oh, what sweet irony. I love Will Ferrell. I'll watch 90 minutes of Will Ferrell, and I'll watch 10 minutes of Will Ferrell.
10 minutes of Will Ferrell's the best, though.
To you.
Oh, you're not going to pitch me the Get Hard podcast, are you, with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell?
I haven't seen Get Hard yet, but I will watch it because I love Will Ferrell. But I will pitch the Land of the Lost podcast. That has Will Ferrell and Danny McBride. In fact, Will Ferrell's character, Marshall Willenholly, is named after the three characters from the Land of the Lost TV show, Marshall and Willen and Holly. I know you don't know that, but like I said, I would pitch the Land of the Lost movie with Will Ferrell.
Land of the Lost.
It's got fucking dinosaurs. It's got fucking dinosaurs.
Season 8 of the podcast, Land of the Lost.
Semi-pro, love me sexy.
Semi-pro's going way ahead of Land of the Lost.
Of course. Shannon Elizabeth as Justice. You know why Justice wore glasses?
I don't know why Justice wore glasses.
It was up to Shannon Elizabeth, actually. It was her idea. She wanted to wear glasses because Justice is blind.
Oh. Shannon Elizabeth dad joke us?
Shannon Elizabeth's dad joked us, yes.
Oh, what a dad joke.
How about when she rips off her glasses and go, how about, bitch, you ain't my baby's daddy?
I thought women didn't like being called bitches.
They don't. Or find pieces of asses. But they do like boo-boo kitty fuck.
Boo-boo
kitty fuck.
Ah, that's ridiculous.
You remembered.
So you keep saying Shannon Elizabeth and Justice. To me, she will always be Nadia from American Pie.
And that's fair. I didn't watch American Pie till... Well, I mean, I watched American Pie at like 11, maybe 12. So the only thing American Pie hit home for me was Going Down on Girls. It was good.
Right.
Stifler and boobs.
Okay.
That's all I got from the movie. Granted, the boobs were hers. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
The boobs were hers, 100%. And, but this movie, Shannon Elizabeth is Justice to me. Because I saw this movie at 16 or 17. It was what I wanted. Like, I've already said this is the perfect movie. So yeah, Shannon Elizabeth is Justice to me.
I got a surprise for you, Jacob.
What?
We're going to do a second Mount Rushmore this episode.
Get the fuck out of here. No, we're not.
We're going to do our Mount Rushmore of cameos.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Double Rushmore.
As a virgin, you have to give me yours first.
That's fine. I didn't prepare you for this, so I'll go first while you write it down.
Okay.
On the Mount Rushmore, this is in no particular order. This is actually a true Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
So I gotta have Chris Rock.
Okay.
Chris Rock's got to be in there as the director. Chaka Luther King, dumbest name I've ever heard in my life.
Love it.
Awesome, perfect. He's going for it. Going for it
hard.
Yes. One I'm going to get out of the way because it's such a small part, but it makes me laugh so hard. Gus Van Sant.
Jesus Christ, Ben. I said I'm busy.
It's so small, but
that's applesauce, bitch.
Absurd. Mark Hamill just going for it.
Makes sense that Mark Hamill, Chris Rock are in your Mount Rushmore. That's your number one scene.
And they're both going for it.
Yes.
It's just awesome to watch two funny people be funny.
Yes.
George Carlin. George Carlin shows up first. When I saw George Carlin as a cameo and never saw him again, I was very happy. Good job, George Carlin.
You have one more.
That's 4. Chris Rock, Mark Hamill, Gus Van Sant, and
George Carlin. Yeah. So mine, I'll start with one of my favorites, Sean William Scott as Brent. I loved Brent's character.
It's especially him coming off of Stifler.
Yes, loved his character. Number 2, and like you, no particular order. Chris Rock.
Shaka Luther
King. He cracked me up. Carrie Fisher.
As the nun.
Out of my number one scene as the nun. Yep. And George Carlin. Out of my number one scene.
It's hard not to put the George Carlin one in there.
It's not. I mean, it is. It is hard.
Much more overlap on this than our Mount Rushmore scenes.
Yes.
We got a couple of them together.
Yes.
Did you like Double Rushmore?
I love Double Rushmore. Almost as much as I love Double Penetration.
Ooh. But do you love it as much as you love Trivia and Facts?
No. Because Trivia and Facts gets my dick hard.
You're the trivia guy.
I am the trivia guy.
Trivia us.
You want me to spurt my trivia all over your face?
Just spurt it everywhere.
You were curious about this because of how often fuck was used in this movie.
A lot. I know Wolf of Wall Street is more, But
Yes.
Wolf of Wall Street is a long movie.
Wolf of Wall Street's a 3-hour movie.
This movie's an hour 40.
Yes, hour 44.
So I'm curious.
104 minutes.
I'm curious where it ranks on F words per minute.
So, fuck is said 248 times in Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh, that's a lot.
And that equates to 2.38 per minute.
Almost 2.5 times a minute they're saying the F word in this movie.
Yes. Which is a lot. And that's not counting any other cuss word.
Right.
That's just fuck.
Whoa.
Wolf of Wall Street uses fuck 506 times.
That is a lot of F-bombs, even in a 3-hour movie.
Yes. You think about it, though. They're about half each other. Because it's 104 minutes for Jay and Silent Bob. It's 180 minutes for Wolf of Wall Street.
That's right.
It's 248 times the Jay and Silent Bob. It's 506 in Wolf of Wall Street.
So
it's actually pretty close. It's 2.81 per minute.
FPMs, fucks per minute.
Fucks per minute.
That's how much they say that word in this movie.
Now,
so 2.8 to 2.38. So they're close.
They are close.
They're not far off.
Now, Wolf of Wall Street does own that Guinness Book of World Records of most cuss words in a movie.
Not most F-bombs.
Not most F-bombs, most cuss words. And just because I was curious, it's 687 curse words at 3.81 per minute.
4 cuss words a minute.
Yep.
They're saying a cuss word every 15 seconds in that movie.
Yes. 100% they are.
And when they're not saying cuss words, it's some old Rolling Stones song playing in the back.
Martin Scorsese loves the Rolling Stones. So I'm going to start my trivia with some Mark Hamill stuff. We've already talked about the cock knocker scene. He was also the voice of Scooby-Doo in this movie.
Ah.
Yeah. Bringing out his voice acting skills.
He's good at it.
And he was a good Scooby.
Plays the Joker.
Yeah. He could play Scooby in animated stuff for all I give a shit. He was good. This was the first film that Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher were in since Return of the Jedi in 1983.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else they would have been in together.
No, but it's still that's a long time. And the most interesting part of that trivia is they didn't know they were both in the movie until weeks after shooting was complete.
Were they okay with that?
Yeah, I don't think they care.
No, they don't have any hard feelings. They just didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the way movies are shot, whatever.
Scene to scene to scene.
Yep. That's my Mark Hamill trivia, because we already went over other shit. We all know Kevin Smith loves comic books, so much so that he's even a writer on the Daredevil comic books in some issues.
Oh,
Did you know that?
Skill. He's got skill. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. He owns his own comic book store. In fact, the comic book store at the beginning of the movie, Brody's Comic Book Stash or whatever it's called, is actually Kevin Smith's personal comic book store.
Wow.
But when the girls got the pizza delivered, the pizza delivery guy was Joe Quesadilla. If I said that name wrong, I apologize. In 2001, he was the editor-in-chief at Marvel Comics.
He's an editor-in-chief at the time.
Yep.
And he's doing a cameo in Jay and Silent Bob?
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep. Now, we know how much I love foreshadowing. And normally it's just in movies. But I have a foreshadow for this podcast with my trivia.
And that is?
Kevin Smith originally wanted Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr. to be the stars of the fictional Blunt Man and Chronic movie. Instead of Jason Biggs and James Vanderbeek.
So those are the two leads in Scooby-Doo, right?
That's why they didn't take this role for Blunt Man and Chronic. Because they were doing Scooby-Doo. And Kevin Smith wanted them to play in this. And they did Scooby-Doo instead. I love that because there's a Scooby-Doo scene in this movie.
Right. There is. And he had no idea they were doing those together.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course they take the Scooby-Doo. They're top billed in that.
Sure.
Yeah. Which I think is what you were about to say. So my favorite director, Quentin Tarantino. Originally, Kevin Smith wanted Tarantino to be the director for the Blunt Man and Chronic movie.
Oh,
instead of Chris Rock.
Would have been a little different.
Would have been real different. I would have loved it. I probably would have loved it as much as I love this one because Tarantino can't act.
No.
He's horrible at it.
But that's part of
it.
Right.
And he would have been great in that scene. It would have been awesome. But Chris Rock fucking nailed it.
He did.
And I'm okay that it didn't happen, but it would have been fucking awesome if it did.
So with all the American Pie people in this, could Kevin Smith have gotten Eugene Levy in this movie?
I'm sure he could have.
Why didn't he?
I don't know. Who would he have played?
Hey, find something for me, Eugene Levy. Have him play Justice's dad on like a phone call back.
Okay. Or he could be the mastermind behind the jewel thieves.
Perfect. You don't even have to bring him to the studio. Just film him wherever he's at.
Oh, that's
it's a one
good.
shot of just him. Who cares?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. What are you doing?
We just made a movie that I think is perfect, just a little bit better.
Nothing's perfect. It can always get better.
It can always get better. On the Tarantino trivia, on the Hollywood set, right after Jay and Silent Bob escaped the security guard, when they poke their heads around a truck, the first thing visible is what appears to be Mr. Pink, Mr. Blonde, Mr. White, and a bloody Mr. Orange from Reservoir Dogs. So you've seen the first Clerks movie, not the second one, right?
Correct.
Do you remember Olaf in that movie? He was the metalhead.
Gotcha. Okay.
He was the metalhead that sang that song Berserker. Jay is wearing a Berserker t-shirt with the image of Olaf throughout the movie.
Oh, he took this shit serious.
Yeah. Jason Mewes also came up with some of Jay's sayings on his own, back from whenever he was a teenager. Like Schnoogans, when he told Justice he was kidding about loving her. Schnoogans. I really want to integrate that in my vocabulary, because why the fuck not?
Because you don't know what it means.
It means I'm kidding.
Okay.
Schnoogans. My last bit of trivia is Chris Rock. On the movie posters and DVD covers of all the movies, Chris Rock is actually in his Dogma getup. They just photoshopped him.
They didn't get him in while he was shooting the scene or anything?
Nope.
Straight up Photoshop.
Nope. You can see the trench coat that he's wearing in Dogma is the trench coat he's wearing on the movie poster.
Oh.
Yep.
So I noticed this on the DVD.
That means Shaka Luther King's an apostle.
I did notice on the DVD, Jay and Silent Bob not top billed in this movie? Did I see that right?
You did. Which is funny that they can't get top billing in their own movie.
It's Jay and Silent Bob. Strikes back.
They probably didn't do it because it was alphabetical.
Oh, I didn't look that hard. I just saw Ben Affleck was the first name, so that makes sense because it starts with an A.
It's weird that Chris Rock got billing on it and they didn't get top billing. I just they can't get top billing in their own fucking movie.
So, speaking of people who didn't get billed on this movie, it's time for impersonations.
Oh, what do we got today?
George Carlin.
Okay.
One of my dad's favorite stand-up comedians.
Okay.
Overall funny man.
Yep.
George Carlin. I tried it a little bit this week. Mine's bad.
Okay.
So I'm going to go first. Because I don't care how bad yours is. I think it's better than mine.
Okay.
Yeah, get that gravel going. It's the rules of the road, kid. You want to get 200 miles down the road? You suck a cock. You want to get a whopper? You suck a cock. You see, that's the difference. In football, they wear helmets. In baseball, they wear caps. In football, they score touchdowns. In baseball, they score runs. Oh, that was bad.
Wow, that was it?
That was bad.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Did you have some Boston in there for George Carlin?
I don't know what that was.
Whatever it was, it wasn't good.
It was not good. There was too much Pacino in there.
Pacino, that's what it was. Not Boston.
I think I Pacino'd up the Carlin.
Yeah.
Don't mix those.
No.
Don't put your Pacino in a Carlin.
Please don't. Because it'll sound like that, which was almost as bad as his Dinosaur. Which I'm never letting you live that down.
No, it was bad. You deserve to keep bringing it up.
So, my George Carlin. All right.
It takes a while to get that gravel, doesn't it?
It does. It's so natural. I mean, he's a lucky son of a bitch to be able to do that gravel on his own. Because you're doing it all wrong. You got to give the driver a little incentive. Like this. Yeah, but what happens when you don't make the head? Don't make with the head. Don't they kick you ass to the curb? Sure. If you don't make with the head, yeah, I'll take a shot in the mouth for a couple 100 miles. It's the first rule of the book. What book? The unwritten book of the road. All the hitchers do it. Why do you think people pick us up? Follow the rules of the book, and you get where you're going in no time. Watch this.
I'm glad yours was so much better than mine.
I have a pretty good George Carlin.
That's pretty good. Did you know you had it?
No.
Oh, okay. Good.
No.
Yeah, that's solid.
I can't believe no one's ever told me that, because I've done that scene many times, and no one's told me it's a good George Carlin.
That's
maybe,
a good George Carlin.
Maybe because they just don't fucking know.
Yeah. You're talking to people our age.
Yeah.
They don't know who George Carlin is.
Our age or younger.
Yeah. George Carlin's my dad's favorite comedian.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, they don't fucking know.
Well,
cool. I have a good George Carlin. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now you can memorize the 7
That's
words.
2 comedians in 2 weeks of impersonations. We had Gilbert Godfrey on here last week.
That's right. We did.
Oh my God.
Maybe Gilbert. There we
and
go.
George Carlin can pop up in an episode.
Yeah, maybe they co-host.
Okay. Oh man, we'll have to work this bitch out for a little bit.
You're gonna have to smoke 47 cigarettes a day.
No fucking
until
shit.
then.
Oh my God. And that's not an understatement.
What else did you like about the movie, Jacob?
Oh, everything. There's nothing I didn't like. Is there anything you didn't like?
A few things. There's about twice as many gay jokes as there should be. I know, I understand. They're making fun of Hollywood, making fun of gay, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But cut the gay jokes in half. Mix it in with a few more pot jokes. Maybe a few more fart jokes.
You know, as a stoner comedy, there wasn't a lot of pot jokes.
There needed to be more, I thought.
Yeah. And I guess you could have done that, switch those around a little bit. What else did you not like?
Oh, obviously, you got to get Eugene Levy in here.
Yeah, okay. Is that it?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I mean, it does feel unstructured and wild ass and whatever. I told you, it's wild AF.
Yeah.
It's wild AF.
Perfect way to describe it. If Hulu's description of the movie would have been Jay and Silent Bob's Wild AF Ride to Hollywood, it would have been appropriate.
There's the Twitter review right there.
Yes, 100%.
That's it.
You're welcome, Twitter. You're welcome, Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Free speech is back.
Yeah!
I can talk about how much I hate Rudy on Twitter now.
Thank God, because I'm wanting to hear notes.
Oh, Rudy's bad.
I'm waiting.
He doesn't overcome anything. He just sucks at football.
He got put on people's shoulders. He overcame a lot.
He overcame nothing.
His brother died.
Well, good for him. There's no comeback story. There's no... He just didn't quit. Way to go. And you should have quit. You weren't going to make anything of it. Oh, you got 1 sack. Who cares?
But it's a story of not quitting, BJ. It's this story right here. They didn't quit. They made it all the way to Hollywood. They were commanders of the clit. They stole a monkey. They hitchhiked. They almost got blew up. They almost got shot.
But they could do it. Rudy can't do it. Rudy just sucks at football.
Yeah, but it's just a story of not quitting. It's this story.
Sometimes you shouldn't quit.
Well, okay.
If there's something that you're clearly not going to go forward with, you quit.
You hear that, kids? Quit.
Yeah, if you're not going to go forward with, quit. Yes, that's my advice to you, kids. Oh, fuck. The Rudy podcast is going to be intense.
It is.
Are we going to get in a fight?
Maybe.
Full-on fist fight?
Maybe.
Oh, look
Maybe.
forward to that episode.
I already have
folks.
fake teeth, so I don't care. What are your final thoughts of the movie, BJ?
It is a good, solid, breaking the fourth wall, stoner, slacker, gay joke, fart joke comedy. I think you like it more than me. I don't think I'll ever get to 40 times viewing this movie in my life, but I'll do it again.
How many more times do you think?
4, 5.
Okay, I think that's an appropriate amount. I think I'm ridiculous.
Right.
To the extreme. I think four or five more times is an appropriate amount.
And we're talking about over years.
Of course. What would you rate it? With that being said.
Mid-sevens.
And so with you thinking it'll get better at rewatch, does that mean it could go up in rating?
It could. But it could go down. If I don't like it as much as I think I am in rewatch, it could go down. So I kind of played the middle between the two.
I don't think it's possible for it to go down, but I see it being able to. Basic Instinct's a good example. That could go down.
Because you know the twist.
Yeah. I love this movie today just as much as I loved it 12 years ago.
Is it 10 out of 10 for you?
It is a 10 out of 10 for me. On my IMDb account, hadn't been on this movie in a while. It was already a 10 out of 10 when I showed up to this movie. It's because I knew it then. I know it now.
It's our first 10.
No. Yes, it is, because I gave Quigley a 9.
That's right.
It is our first 10. Holy dick. Kevin Smith. My first 10 out of 10 movie on the podcast.
Congratulations.
Yeah. This first time was really good for me. It was nice and sloppy. I was able to stay hard the whole time.
You filled up your cup?
I did. I filled up my cup. Should they remake it?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
You can't do the cameos.
No.
You don't have the people. They tried to with Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, which we will be watching and doing on this podcast because of how great this movie was.
So they kind of have remade this. It's essentially Family Guy.
Okay.
It's a 104-minute episode of Family Guy.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. Plot doesn't make sense. All the characters are shitty people.
Yep.
It's borderline offensive.
Not even borderline. It's just offensive.
That's true.
Yeah. It is. You're right. You don't need to remake that. It's been remade.
No.
And the characters are perfect where they are.
And because there are characters in other movies, you can't recast it, right?
Yeah.
There's no recasting.
No. And we've already talked about what we can do to make the movie better. Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy, eliminate
half the gay jokes.
Yeah.
Half of them.
Half of them.
Can't get rid of all of them.
There's a lot.
Some of them were good.
Yes.
Half of them. Because half of them were not good. And it's okay not to have not a good joke.
And in 2001, it probably was all funny.
Sure.
In 2022, it's half funny.
Yeah. Wouldn't recast a movie in any way.
No, you can't.
You can't because it's View Askew Productions characters.
Right.
You can't recast them.
Is that the Kevin Smith-averse?
It is. View Askew.
That sounds better than the Kevin Smith-averse.
It does. But Kevin Smith-averse also sounds cool as shit.
We know what we rated the movie. What about people on Amazon? How did they take to Jay and Silent Bob?
BJ, I don't do Amazon. I do IMDb.
Sorry.
I do the movie poop shoot of real life.
IMDb is the movie poop shoot of real life.
Yeah. So here's my good one from IMDb. Movie poop shoot of real life. Crude but funny. 2006. Dick and fart jokes. Crude but funny. I, for one, think the characters of Jay and Silent Bob are sheer genius. People take movies, life, and themselves too damn seriously. The crude and honest humor of Kevin Smith movies is what most people my age consider real. If you don't like it, don't see it. Most people who are not extremely uptight should like this movie. I, for one, cannot wait to see Clerks 2 this summer. Big-time film critics rave over movies like The Piano and Memoirs of a Geisha. To most of the country's population, that is the 20 to 40 range, this is some real crap that could have never been produced. Smith movies look into real Gen X type stuff, and it is never heavy. Always light, enjoyable, and funny. If you thump the Bible too much, you should not see this movie. No truer words have ever been spoken. I consider anything that makes me laugh well worth the time it takes to watch it, and Jay and Silent Bob definitely makes me laugh.
Oh, let's get this guy on the pod.
This guy would be good for the pod. If you thump the Bible too much, you should not see his movies.
That got me.
Not just this movie, his movies.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Don't watch them. Don't watch Dogma. You're not going to like it. God's a woman. Jay and Silent Bob are prophets. And
God's Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, woman.
One hand in my pocket, and the other one's smoking a cigarette.
That's because I don't know any Alanis Morissette lyrics.
She sucked Uncle Joey's dick in a movie theater.
Awesome. Way to go, Alanis Morissette. So yeah, that's God. So you're not going to like that
Right.
already. And you see an angel's penis, which doesn't exist. Alan Rickman. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's my good review. My bad review is titled The Worst Film I Have Seen in a Long Time. This came out in 2002. So right after the movie came out. This is fresh.
There were some bad movies from 98 and 2002 as well.
Yes, and this guy thought this was one of them. I have a hard time understanding how people can find this film even slightly amusing, but okay. If the most hilarious thing you can think of is seeing someone smoke a joint and break wind, you are in for a treat. The acting is worse than a midday teen soap. I think the best actor in the film must be the monkey. I don't recall a single funny scene in the movie. It is that bad. Don't spend your money on this crap unless you're an American 12-year-old, even if you like Jay and Bob's appearances in Dogma and Mallrats. 2 out of 10.
That's harsh.
It is. But this guy clearly takes himself way too seriously. I have a hard time understanding how people find this film even slightly amusing. First off, it's not a film.
It is not a film.
You were going to see the wrong movie. Sorry, bub.
Yeah, you're looking for Memoirs of a Geisha.
Yeah, or The Piano.
I think it's The Pianist, right?
Whatever. Homeboy said The Piano.
Whatever.
A movie called The Piano could have came out in 2001.
Autocorrect, too.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
Should people watch this movie?
Absolutely. We've discussed everything, whether you're going to like it or not.
Yep.
And if you're not, don't. But if you are, definitely do it. If you do, you're probably going to be like me and be like, I need to rewatch this movie a few more times.
Yep. If you like movies that don't take themselves seriously, which I think are most people, watch the movie.
It's making fun of Hollywood.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Kevin Smith is extremely talented.
He is.
He does a great job.
He does.
And so does everybody else in this film. Everybody has a good time.
It's a goofy comedy.
Yeah.
It's a goofy comedy. Enjoy. Sit back, enjoy. We did it.
We did. And it was a good first time.
It was. It was my first time.
You enjoyed popping your cherry, didn't you?
So this movie, yes.
I can't wait to do a movie where you don't enjoy popping your cherry. I think that'll be fun.
We'll see. I bet we'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, we'll get there for sure. If anything, something I recommend.
Speaking of getting there, next week, what do we got on tap?
We have, I don't remember what year it came out, but the George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, directed by Joel Schumacher, Batman and Robin.
Bat nipple talk will be on.
Oh my God, bat nipples. I'm way too excited.
We already know what the accent's going to be next week, or the impersonation.
I don't know.
It's not going to be Arnold?
I mean, it probably will, but I don't want to say it's going to be Arnold.
Okay.
Because you have Jim Carrey as the Riddler. You have outrageous Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
You're confusing movies.
Am I?
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's just Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman. So it's been a while since you've watched it.
It's been a long time as me confusing movies. And that's okay.
Let's face it, they're all the same.
Yep. So you're right. It probably will be Schwarzenegger. That'll be our impersonation.
Oh. Get to the chopper.
It's time to freeze.
This is I Remember My First Time. We will be back again.
Later.